Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Crafting Mayhem and More. This is Kina, and I don't know if I have a lot to talk about, but when I say woo child, I was not ready. I was not ready. So much going on over the last couple of weeks, and I'm just now getting my act together as far as everything. I am currently working on Diamond Art Club's Nova, which I have had forever. And I have decided to complete her because I enjoyed Willa so much. In addition to that, I'm also going to start working on, I think there is a Phoenix Rising or something like that event going on. So I have a couple of Phoenix diamond paintings, and I've had them since the beginning, and so I'm going to start working on those. What else is going on? As usual, I am using my basic trays, my Giganosaur, which I use for my 310s and larger diamonds. And although I always say this, I have specialty trays that I've ordered from different people. I just don't use them. I just don't use them. These have just become more convenient for me. The trays that come in the kits and the various sizes that I've ordered from AliExpress, Wish, and or Amazon over the last couple years. That being said, I am, of course, using my pens from Pashi Pens from Nicole, by Nicole, and they are filled with glue dots. So that's what I'm using now. I start off with this smaller one because as I am single placing and doing the checkerboard pattern, it is just a heck of a lot easier to control the diamonds and put them on there straight in the first place. So that's why I use the shorter pen. Plus, I can rest it against a different finger so that my finger does not hurt so much if I'm sitting here for hours. Now, today I won't be sitting here for hours because I have already, I got up early this morning. I'm working on my DOLLHOUSE rehab. And so it's been, maybe a couple weeks now. And I started to try to get the glue off the roof because I took the shingles off, and that was a whole process of figuring out what to use, but I'll save that for that video. So I'm still trying to get the remnants of the glue off so I can move on to the next step in rehabbing that dollhouse. Now, this is a diamond painting video, so I'm going to stop talking about that. You know, guys, I know I've said it in the last little short whipping chat that I did that I generally have a dad update, and so I guess this will be my last dad update. We had the funeral. It was a very, very nice funeral. It was very uplifting, not a sad funeral. Everybody had good things to say. It was very positive. There were some moments or an individual that I don't think I want to talk about right now that kind of put a damper on things, and it's always that one person in the family. Unfortunately, that one person belongs to me, so I'm not going to talk about that just yet. A, because he's still here, and B, I don't want to get upset about anything. So that being said, it's been a process. So apparently the crematoriums in this area are busy because while we don't hear about the numbers as far as COVID goes, there are still numbers. So my dad died on the 24th. We had the funeral on the June 31st, I believe, because my mom's birthday was the day before the funeral. My son's birthday was the day after the funeral. Isn't that just special? So anyway, he still has not been cremated. Issue number one, trying to locate the doctor that was to sign the death certificate. I had to look on the NPI registry, and if you don't know, you're not in healthcare, the NPI registry is a database of all the doctors who are licensed. It gives the states they're licensed in, their primary facilities that they work in some instances, they even give the phone number. So my mom called the hospital to figure out why this man in 2 weeks has not signed the death certificate. And the hospital is going to tell her that they didn't know, and there was no way that they can get her in contact with them. Of course, I go on the NPI. His primary place of work is at that particular hospital in a particular building. So they have that information, so they could have easily given it to her. So I gave her that information. I also gave her the secondary phone number that they have for him. And I hope, like heck, that it was his personal number that was listed on there. And that, so she called and she left several messages. So apparently he is supposed to call. So yesterday was Saturday, so Friday they finally shipped his body from the funeral home to the crematorium, and so they don't know when we will get his ashes, but apparently we should be getting them soon. But I'm like, this is absolute ridiculousness. That being said, everybody around here is holding up, well. I'm sure that later there are some more tears to be shed, especially on my part, because I didn't do much of that. And, I think about him every day, and I just kind of push it out of my mind. So I'm sure that there is more to come, because I'm getting a little choked up right now. So let's just move on. So you may have noticed that I did a curve vlog, and I'm going to do some more, and that is where I will primarily be talking about this new job. Whoo, child, I was not ready. I truly was not ready. Now, let me give you a little background. I took this particular position because I was planning on doing dialysis at home for my dad. And while I am a from home kind of a nurse, and I have been doing that for years, yeah, I couldn't do that and give dialysis because my work hours would have been regular business hours, 8 to 4, 4:30, versus 3 to 11, which I was able to get. So I just went and grabbed a quick little job that would allow me to do the dialysis training, maintain my income, and do what I need to do for him. Of course, this Mother Hubbard goes and checks out the night after the night of my orientation day. So I went to orientation. I was in bed, going to sleep, ready to get up for training the next day at the job. And we got a call, and I'll have to tell you about that call later. But we got a call, so it ended up that we needed to go to the hospital. And I did not end up going back to start my training until maybe 7 to 9 days later. And yeah, that was a thing. So I decided, okay, so now I have made it so I'm not working at home, and I don't really need this job, but I kind of made a commitment, and I wanted to stick to it. And y'all, when I tell you, now I'm me most times, And I have the professional me, where I'm adhering to corporate policies, procedures, speaking as professionally as I can, and ensuring that all standards are met when it comes to healthcare. I cannot do it in this facility. The ghetto fabulosity, and I'm not saying this for a particular race, creed, culture, or gender. It is all the people, all of the people that work there. I cannot go into detail. I can't go into detail. I'm not going to go into detail until after I leave this facility. But let's just say it is safe to say that Kina will not be signing any documents in association with said facility, because I look around that place and all I see is an opportunity for lawsuits and depositions. You heard it here, folks. That is all I see. Now, I say that, and you're saying, if you are in the healthcare field and if your livelihood depends on a license, being a licensed practitioner, you're thinking, why the heck are you still there? Well, I see it and I cannot let it continue. So I feel like the best way for me to deal with it is to effect change. Now, let me tell you, I am going to do that within the scope of my health, safety, and sanity. And that is all. Now, one of my aunts, my aunts, uncles, dad, all that, they're seniors. They found a mass. She had a surgery. She's going to have to be in rehab. If the rehab that I am in is any indication of what is going on in skilled nursing facilities across our nation, I would much rather keep the job while she needs skilled nursing. In that way, I can ensure that she is getting the care that she needs. And if all else fails, I can personally give her the care that she needs. That is my thought process right now. So, and while I'm there, I'm hoping that there will be a positive impact and positive outcomes for these patients. And I'm going to give you an example. So I went to work on Friday. So I get to work early all the time, no matter what job it has always been. There are some jobs that you go to work early for because you have to acclimate yourself to the environment. This is one of those. So I get to work and I'm setting up for whatever I'm doing as the unit manager, right? So the day shift unit manager informs me that it's going to be short-staffed on my shift, which is 3 to 11, not 7. He's 7 to 3. And so he has, because it's my shift, he has assigned me to work the cart, which in a skilled nursing facility means that you are basically passing meds, and this is primarily done by licensed practical nurses nonetheless, but LPNs. Nope, not a problem for me. But then this is not told to me. Okay, so medications are due, the first ones are at 5 o'clock. This is not told to me until after 5 o'clock. Okay, let's start there. had I known at the start of my shift, what would have happened is that Keena would have started taking all her vital signs, because they put me on the side of the unit that had about a gazillion AccuChecks, because their CNAs don't do AccuChecks. Everybody needs vitals, and about half a gazillion of the patients over there had G-tubes, which are gas feeding tubes. So you have to check residuals in feeding tubes. You have to flush feeding tubes. When you give, old people their 18 medications, you flush in between each medication administration. And I had not worked the CURT before. No problem. It's med administration. I know, what a prudent nurse would do. I know what my Nurse Practice Act in my state requires me to do. And this is what I proceed to do. When I tell you, I did not get done giving medications until 10:30 at night, and I'm talking non-stop medication passes. It was not only that, it was the fact that I am the supervisor, and anytime something came up, I had to stop and address the issue, because the new assistant director of nursing, as well as that manager from day shift who usually works at 16, they went home. So not only was I passing med, I had to address issues that were occurring. Not a problem, not like I could handle it, but guess what? You people have been working here longer than me, and the crap that they were coming up to me with for patients that I am not familiar with like they are, I almost lost my stuff, like blew a straight gasket. So by the time I got to the last room, I went in there, I talked to the patient. This lady is morbidly obese at approximately 400 and something pounds. She is in our facility because the nursing homes in her Detroit area had no capability to handle someone at the bariatric size she was. So she was, transported all the way to essentially the Chicago metropolitan area to receive her care. So this woman complained that she had been wet all day and nobody had changed her. Now, mind you, this is one of the reasons that I stopped doing what I was doing during the med pass, was to tell the CNAs this lady's complaint, because that is what seems to be their primary role, is keeping the patients clean, the residents clean. And apparently it never happened. So as soon as I got done passing the medications, I went in her room to get her dry. She was able to assist like a whole lot, which was a great help. But she said, well, all you have to do is really help me put my leg over the bed. Yeah. That leg was taller than me and weighed more than me. So the struggle was real. I did help her get that leg over. She was able to hold her weight by holding on to the bed rail. But of course, she had a bowel movement. So now I'm not prepared. She's on the COVID side of the building, which means that I'm in full get up. So I have to take off my gown, everything else, to go get other stuff that I need to clean this lady. Wet, towels, this, that, the other. Not the biggest deal, but they don't even have like a tall garbage can where you would see all of the personal protective equipment if anybody was following COVID or droplet precautions or anything. This not in the room for me to throw away the gown to get a new gown when I come in there. Y'all, if you could see me right now, if my hair was done, if I had on makeup or anything that remotely looked like I was going to be functional today, you would see me rubbing my temples because I am getting stressed as I talk about it. So that kind of teed me off. I got it done. And of course, while I'm in there, she proceeded to ask me for everything. I'm like, ma'am, I have one more patient because he always takes his meds at 10 o'clock. Mind you, it's 10:30. His light is going off. He's yelling down the hall because I'm not there with his pain medication, nor am I there with his 35 units of insulin. And I had promised him, I said, I got you. I know that this is your preference. I will be back at 10 o'clock. I couldn't make it back at 10 o'clock because I'm still trying to give this woman 5 o'clock meds, 8 o'clock meds, whatever meds that I missed because it is now 10:30. Okay, get it all done. Not a big deal. Waiting on staff to come in for the 11 to 7 a.m. shift. In the meantime, I know I need to chart on these last two patients that I did. How about I go into the MAR to chart on these last two patients, and y'all, none of my stuff was saved. So mind you, I had passed all these medications, done all these assessments, including listening to bruise and thrills in dialysis patients with fistulas, and vital signs, AccuChecks, all that. It was not there. I'm so glad I had written it down. I had printed out a census sheet and was writing down vitals next to their names as well as AccuChecks and stuff. The reason for this was because I had not done a medication pass working within the charting system. So I might have been told, but because I was told because you said it one day, I don't know, the week before, I did not see nor did I recall this save button until I was charting on that last patient, those last two, and my information wasn't saved. So I had to sit there and chart on all of the patients that it took me from 5 to 10:30 to do a med pass on. Now, it only took me an hour. I left out of there at 12:30. I did not get a lunch. I do have a form that says I did not get a lunch. I'm not mad at that. What I am mad at is the fact that I know good and well that these people could not possibly, you hear what I'm saying, could not possibly actually be taking vital signs, doing AccuChecks, flushing between every medication for those patients with a G-tube like you're supposed to, because some medicines should not be mixed, listening for bruise and thrills for these AV fistulas, because I have seen some stuff with the company that does dialysis within that facility that I don't trust them either. And this is only week 2 for me being there, really. And I noticed these things, and I would not trust that something was done correctly without checking based on my licensure. They cannot. They cannot be doing all these things and get through with charting in an 8-hour shift. That being said, I know that the facility is short-staffed, and I know that the facility puts up with the level of or lack of professionalism based on the fact that if they got rid of staff because of behaviors, they wouldn't have any staff. And it would be management out there trying to pass meds and do this stuff. I get it. There is a staffing shortage. But by the same token, there ain't no way that these people, there's no way that the nursing staff who are supposed to take vitals and AccuChecks and blah, blah, blah. I worked in a skilled nursing when I was in nursing school, and it was actually for Cook County Health and Hospital Systems, you know, where I left after 17 years. Yeah, CNAs did vital signs, CNAs did AccuChecks. So my request to them is that they need to hire CNAs who are not taking, you know, doing the cleaning up. These CNAs need to be there specifically to take vital signs every shift, as well as the AccuChecks. I mean, come on. They can do this for multiple units. There's some medications, a Coreg or something, that I should not be given if the heart rate is less than 50. How would I know if the heart rate is less than 50 if I don't do vitals? And I know it's not being done. You know why I know it's not being done? Because when I asked that day, do you have an electronic blood pressure cuff? Because I know I don't have time to sit there and manually do a blood pressure on all these people that I have. I don't know, it's about 20-some patients. All these people. And get the medications passed, because these are elderly people with comorbidities that actually, you know, they have 10, 12 medications. So when I asked, he said, well, it doesn't work. Well, it's not that the machine did not work. It was that the machine was detached or broken from the little trolley thing that it sits on to transport. So maintenance happened to come up. He asked him to fix it. The man fixed it, which was another reason that I got started late, because he got, you know, he had to fix the thing so I could take the vitals. Even with the electronic blood pressure cuff, it took me that long. So if you don't have functioning equipment, and I have yet to see a nurse except myself and one other walk through that facility with a stethoscope, you are not taking a blood pressure. So how in the heck are you administering blood pressure medications? I get it, but man, I was like, you know what? So they actually sent me a text message Saturday and Sunday saying that they needed extra help, and if I came in, they would give me an extra $300 for that shift. Ninja, please. Not happening. I needed my mental health day. It was tempting, because the Saturday I said no, but then they text about coming in today. Today is Sunday. And they say, I will give you a really good bonus. Now, I don't know what a really good bonus is. Is it $500? I might get on up. But guess what? I'm not going to stress myself. So until some of these things are addressed, and they were down 2 nurses, so I know it was trouble. And then on top of that, I was talking to the manager this week, and he kind of told me that a lot of times that the nursing staff will sabotage agency staff to ensure that they get that they continue to get the overtime like they're getting. Like, I've never seen so many people work 16-hour shifts like every freaking day. Come on now. Come on. So apparently, if they're short and you work over, you get, I think it's $200 a shift extra. If you're a nurse, and I don't know how much if you, or maybe it's a little higher. I don't know the breakdown between nurse and CNA, but that's what they get. So to ensure that they keep this little gravy train going, They sabotage the extra help. Yet you complain when you have to do something. Make it make sense. Now you can't have your cake and eat it too. So this is how unprofessional you are. You know that I am on orientation as the new nursing supervisor. Yet you divulge and you show what you do while I'm on orientation. I see you, boo. I see you. This is the last week, this week coming up, if it's a full week that I will be on orientation. Guess what you're not going to do? That crap when I'm off orientation, because it's called the power of the pen. Learned that a long time ago as a county charge nurse. I have the power of the pen. I will start writing people up because the CNAs are union, and so it's a process, and you going on paper, because what's going to happen is it's going to get to a point. I'm not going to argue with you because I've seen that already, the ghetto fabulous arguing. I'm not going to argue with you. You're going to sign it. You ain't got to like it. You can go to HR. You can go to the director of nursing. You don't have, you can refuse to sign it for all I care, but guess what you're going to be? On paper in progressive steps till you on your last leg, till you got your back against the wall where you cannot act out in that way or continue to do that behavior. So I don't care what you got going on. You got to get a job. So you get fired today, you may not just have a job tomorrow. You got to get one. So I'm hoping you're saving up your money, but I'm not thinking, based on what I see, that is your concern at this time. Anyway, y'all, ooh, child, I was not ready for this. And you know, my motto at my age has been, and my level of years in nursing, is that I was not ready to touch another patient. And I am so torn between just letting this go, quitting, and the fact that I see it. I see it, and I can't for the life of me fathom how, let's say, a state agency that is called in to investigate, that they don't see it. They have to see it. They have to know. But because the agency, the facility wouldn't know if the state was called. The state's just going to show up. But I think the reality of it is that the state knows the deficit in healthcare workers that they have. So a lot of things they are letting go by the wayside, and I get it, but I don't get it. Like, I can't reconcile what I see going on. And what I really can't reconcile is the not adhering to precautionary measures, like that part of it. So when I got there, when I interviewed, there were 2 COVID patients. I think there are 5 COVID patients now. Not to mention that my DON has not been there for a week, nor has the person that does the scheduling for nursing been there for a week. You know why? Because they're friends and they both have COVID. I wonder where you got COVID from. I wonder. Now, for all I know, I could have been walking around there with COVID asymptomatic. But what I do is I wear my shield and or goggles, and I wear my N95 mask. Yes, sir. All day. Took me about 4 days to get used to it. About 4 days to figure out how to adjust my glasses and my equipment so that my glasses don't fog up. But guess what? Where it is? Planted on my face. The only time I take it off my face is if I'm in the office and I need a break. That's it. That's all. All right, guys. I think that's all that I have. I am going to, I guess I'm going to be short on information from a car blog. for the car vlog now because I done vented it all, but I needed to get that off my chest. Let me know what you guys think. If you are in the healthcare field, is it that way at your facility? Am I overreacting? Is it because I have been away that I don't realize what people or nursing or healthcare workers are going through? I think that might be it, because my sister has mentioned that as a result of the understaffing and the demands of COVID, she knows that the quality of care in her ER is really not what it should be, but they work their A's off to get it there. So, I mean, what do you do coming from pre-COVID as a bedside clinician and being one to make sure, especially as a trauma nurse, like I save lives? Let me give you one example. My question to the person that's training me was, how do it know? It's my question. How do it know? He like, how do it know? I'm like, yeah, this is one of the things that I kind of used to joke about. You know, this was a trauma thing. How do it know? How do it know if it's walking down the hall and sees a patient that's unresponsive? How do it know if that patient is a DNR or a full code? Because if it is walking down the hall and sees the patient, it does not have time to log into a computer system to try to figure out the code status. So how do it know? Just by looking at the patient. Because there's a problem if he's a DNR and you are, and it's a problem if it's a full code and you don't. Full code. So, yeah. Well, apparently they decided that to have a sign at the head of the bed is a HIPAA violation. And I'm like, okay, so color-coded bracelets. Yeah. That has not apparently happened. So again, like I said, the director of nursing has been off work. So that is my next case, because my background tells me I see a patient on the floor. I'm, sir, ma'am, are you okay? Shaking the heck out of him, finding a pulse. If there's not a pulse, no respiration, I'm immediately going into CPR. My background tells me, you know, get an IV line in and start giving them some epi, but they don't do that there. But CPR needs to happen. And okay, so the DON explained to me that, you know, everybody pitches in doing a code and see. I'm going to hold my breath till I turn blue, because I need to see this in action. Baby, no. No, it does not happen. It does not happen. And I'm going to say that story for the car vlog number 2 that is going to come up on Monday morning. So, or sometime Monday when I'm not doing anything, just sitting there looking crazy. I will edit and post car vlog number 2. Anyway, you guys, I hope you had a great weekend. I needed to get something up, and not that I needed to, I wanted to. Catch you on the backside. I'm going to try to get back to making these every Wednesday. As a matter of fact, I think I'm off the Wednesday of this upcoming week because I work the following weekend. So anyway, have a great day. Give me a thumbs up. Please let people know about the channel. If it's your first time, please hit the subscribe, like button, and share the channel with your friends. I would love to have you join. I want to do a live at some point in the future, but in any event, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.